So hold this, let's look at our service sites. So right here, so if I go to the grid here, the only one we have is old Dr. Larcher. And if we hit the info tab, we just kind of manually went in and set him up. I kind of showed you the old fashioned way of doing it. And we kind of agreed that we're going to use customer number -1, -2, -3, et cetera, for the many to one relationship.
Correct.
So,
Fine with that.
so basically, let's pull up Will's spreadsheet, if he will tell us where to navigate to that
It's under
thing.
the imports folder.
It's got all the data we're looking for that we're going to put in there. So, Margaret's like, where did Will hide that thing? Okay. Counting, viewpoint.
I think we almost had 2,000 done.
Which one are we looking? This one?
2,000,
Service sites to import.
and that's only with 1 year of activity.
One year of
I think
activity?
they only have 1 year in there.
2 years.
Now,
Did you change it?
You don't have, were you gone? They don't have 2 years in there.
It looks like we only pulled the customer driven off of
1 year.
2017
Oh, okay.
stuff.
Gotcha.
so were you able to clean it out? I
Yes.
guess just because you had it and you said, hey, if I ain't got it, I'm nuking it.
That's right.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I got the VP customer number linked to those. And then the customer
I see.
number is there where you see 2, right? And then you have the customer site. So they have 2 sites per customer 1,000 or 10,000.
Okay.
Right.
So here's what we're gonna have to do. Let's insert a column, please. Do you know the concatenate formula in Excel? Are you familiar with that one?
The what?
I forget.
Concatenate. I mean, it's a
Where you bring
fancy,
2 cells.
fancy word for join. Because I really need,
Merge?
I need
No.
10,000 -1. So hit your little function.
Well, this is exciting.
There, it means join. It's a fancy word for join. So join the text in this cell, please. And then in that one, put quotes, and then dash, and then close quote. Thank you. And then you want to pull that to the right. We want to join that with that cell.
Ooh, I like knowing
So that will make that. It's just saying, grab the customer, put a dash, and then do the incremental thing.
We're gonna have to charge
So
you for
say,
that.
okay. So now copy
You
that
should.
all the way to the bottom, and it'll join those cells. Now, we won't actually import a formula, so right-click, copy,
You gotta move your hand.
copy, right-click, paste special values only. Because I have to have that be just text. It can't read concatenated.
So now my question is this.
Yes.
So for this particular customer here,
Yes.
does customer site means there's 2 different sites?
Yeah, see these two? This is a perfect example. Customer 10,000.
Oh, I see, 10,000, oh, I see,
That's the site
okay,
name,
okay.
that's the site address.
I got it,
So
And
yeah,
these are-
2 physical
These-
locations
okay. I got it.
that are totally separate.
See, one's their PO box,
Got
so that was their first, that was their just built to was their PO box.
And I will tell you, Margaret, that there is a mixture, okay? Because what you're looking at there at Aero Controls, we would have said that customer Aero Controls is PO Box 837, and then we would have said Site 1 is 1610 20th, and that's where we do
So all the
the
ones we almost need to get rid of because really the base customer is the one.
But halfway in between at some point, we realized
They
that.
changed it.
Oh.
And so both exist.
Oh.
That's
So it's unfortunate.
So we bring them in as a site to that customer. And
It
then you
doesn't
guys
kill
can-
us.
You guys need to,
Yeah.
I mean, so they could bring in the site and then as long as they don't associate anything with it, they can go through and scrub and delete those.
Or, I mean, we never did that before, except,
Okay. I
I
got
don't
a
know
little
when that
problem with
happened.
this file. You know how Maxwell, do you
Oh,
have
right.
separate files with city-state
City-state
zip
zip.
over there? Or is it that,
No, we did the same thing with the customer list. We actually had to
do a
do
little formula?
text to
Delimited.
columns.
Yeah, we'll have to do that, otherwise.
Do they all have the same?
It's not, I pulled everything from the raw.
Because I know like with the payroll, it gives me both options.
I love
I can pull the names truncate, I mean,
You like
in separate
what?
columns
I like
or in
this
one.
One.
I'm pretty good with Excel and I forget
Same, I
this.
think with the
thought it was in
some
data.
areas, so.
What are you looking for?
Text to columns.
Then under formulas.
No, it's right there,
Oh,
you
it's right
just
there.
passed it,
All
to the right, straight up.
So you're gonna delimit it with not a tab.
Whoops.
It's gonna have to be a, no, you're good. Right
Without
there.
space.
There you go.
I don't know what you just did.
Watch this.
You gotta
You have something,
Oh.
you know,
columns. I'm like, too fast.
Undo.
So you gotta pick these? You just go in, I thought I did this and I
Hit
would
it
just
again.
push it.
Hit text to columns. Okay, hit next and then space. You're good there. Next. And then on here, general.
destination.
Yeah, under the destination, right there, hit the up arrow. There you go. And now grab the IJ, but you're gonna need another one.
Need 3 columns.
You need 3.
No,
Yeah.
City, state, zip.
Yeah.
it's gonna put them each.
Hit escape.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but I thought there was a way that you could,
Insert.
so if you take this and push it text to columns, it should separate it between these 3.
Oh, you can.
That's the way that,
Yeah, just add another one. Just insert a column, just in case. So we keep those in there, so we don't overwrite them.
so then start it here, these 3.
All of it, though, you want to grab a header.
Oh, the headers.
Yeah, there you go. Hit the little thing, little box. There you go. Yep. And then finish. What? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It filled in 3 lines.
And it took out something.
It took out something that was in there.
That's all right. I think it might have bumped them.
I don't think it bumped it, but I don't know if it was worth it. I don't know what it was.
Site
Oh.
contact.
We have to redo all this
edition
over
code.
because we have to pull more history, right? We're going to pull more activity.
Let's
Get the
do it
right
over.
person- Huh?
We just added, it's
We'll just
additive.
add to it.
We wanna leave that
Append
like
to the
that?
end.
Oh, look at, there's your issue.
Just
Let's
add.
go up.
We'll
Why
append,
did
it-
append to the
Yeah, you
end.
Oh,
went into the-
because
Because
it's
it's separated
separated.
and creek,
Oh, yeah.
We did the same thing with the customer list, and it did the same thing, and we had to manually pull those over. I could work on that. Just save it.
Just save it like this.
Yeah.
Now, let me look at one more thing so you know what we're mapping to. Go to Vista at the bottom, please, and hit your service sites right there. Okay, so now that site description, is that going to be site name? Remember,
Yes.
the customer is already in kind of another field. Would it make sense that the site description should pull from that column?
That's correct.
It'll be a little repetitive a lot of times because that might be arrow controls, but
Yes.
that's okay. That's gonna kill us.
Where's it going to go? What-
Yeah,
what's
just
doing
like-
it?
Into what's called site description.
So it's gonna, your
This
service,
site name
I have to
here
map that column
is gonna
to
drop into
something
site description.
here.
yes.
And then I've got address, city, state, zip, you so nicely. And was there an additional address? I didn't see one, so that's really,
You're gonna have some
there's-
oh,
additional,
is this additional address right here?
Because you've got, this
Down
is,
the end. Got you go far to the right, I think there's additional.
Okay.
sections.
well, but what he's saying is in
Yeah.
regards to,
This one down here.
yeah,
And we can map that to that field. Okay, I just want to make sure we do have a map and everything looks good with the exception of those multi-name cities.
yeah,
Those
federal way,
buggered us up.
federal way.
That's right. You're gonna fix that up real quick on the side?
okay, you want me
Well,
to fix this?
Just go ahead and save that, he'll grab it. Fix that up, the next time we'll be ready to map and import once he gets it a little tidier. Okay, did you get our little list all buffed up? Okay, so we're gonna import the service sites just because we had to fix the names of the cities. So, she says, Don, which of these things can I close down? I got a million things open here.
I'm so glad you're driving.
Okay. So this
I'll
stuff.
appreciate Margaret's driving.
Let's go ahead, now here's a nice trick. Let's go ahead and close call types and then close standard items. And close equipment and close the rate templates. We're out of there. Okay, so hit this
Can we
little
close
service
this?
site, please. Yeah, we
Order
can close that.
profitability.
Service site, this is what we're importing to. So now, Let's go find his service site to import. Thank you. Okay. All right, so there's a couple defaults we'll have to talk about. Let's grab that service site one more time. Okay, no brainer. I got the customer, I got the service site with the new concatenate formula. I got the site description name. I got address, city, state, zip, and address number 2. We're going to default to 03 for all these service centers because it makes sense not to do 04. I don't have any technicians yet. Tax codes aren't quite set up yet, but at some point in time, we could put in that default Washington code that we're going to set up.
Where did you talk about technician? You said, oh, primary, okay. We don't have any in the site, okay.
We don't have any assigned to
We
it.
don't have any assigned in the
Got it,
spreadsheet,
got
so I can't really pop it in here at this point in time. So really, all of this other stuff, insurance codes, invoice groupings, we're handling at the thing. I think this baby's ready to map and import, so really the only default we're going to do is 03 of this stuff.
Can I just ask you a question on
Yeah.
how you're gonna map the address, just so I understand?
Yeah.
Could you click on your spreadsheet for a second?
Yeah.
So, okay, so,
Address 1.
yeah. so-
Oh wait, do we have, and this is address 2,
That's
correct? Additional address,
Mhm.
and then our city, state, zip.
Yep.
Is there anything in that column over there? Is that blank?
I was putting in additional address, but I saw it on the left there, so no, it's blank.
Okay, so this is really our address 2 over here
Mhm.
in G. Okay,
I
so
just wanted to
address
see what
1,
the CBRE one
address
looked like, just to make sure that it's gonna come over correctly.
gotcha.
I just wanted to,
So give it the sniff test.
yeah, I'm just
Makes
to
sense.
make sure that, because there's a bunch of them.
What city are they in?
They're not in the state of Washington.
Okay, so I saw a bunch of them, and it's sorted by city, I think, right now. So you're seeing all the Auburns, and if you can, there you go.
Can you just do a contain CBRE?
There we go.
Warren, Michigan, yeah.
So this is going to be your site description. So if you bring this back up.
Yeah.
So site name is going to drop in here.
Yep.
And then the address,
Can you, I'm
Is
sorry,
it
Margaret,
going-
would you take 2 more site names for me and CBREs, because you happen to grab some weird ones for me.
you didn't like my selection?
Well, it's just not necessarily indicative of how they're all set up. There you go.
Okay, so this
Thanks,
is
that's
that's
perfect.
all. So if you're looking at this.
Yeah,
So your site name in E is
yeah,
going into site description.
yeah.
Your site address in F is going into address. Your site address to G is going down into additional address. And then-
This is,
And then-
this is funky.
Mhm.
Sorry, because
I saw a bunch of funky
it's got
ones
the
in there.
care of,
There's a few CBREs that are indeed funky, but if you go down to, the Aldera, the last 2 is really normal for us. That's,
We can always tidy it up, but if that looks reasonable to put them into those 2 fields, we can always do a little bit of tidy up, but this
and then
is
later you describe what
without
the,
meticulously auditing each lot.
right, I'm with you, Don. And then later you can describe what the report that equals an invoice, how that shows up, right?
Right now, it's 1-to-1, so how you have it in Maxwell, that's how it's coming over to Viewpoint.
Okay, got it.
Same fields,
Okay,
basically.
okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good.
Sorry for
Cool.
that extra.
So let's go to the grid view here. As you can see, I only set up one manually, but now I'm going to have her be the template queen. Import steps, IM templates. So these are the steps you got to do to import out of an Excel. Go to the grid view, please. Type in SM in the filter bar. Let's map the service site one. On the info tab, let's make it tab delimited, please. Now, do we have a header in that Excel spreadsheet? Do we start on line 2?
We did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll start on line 2, please. So
Go
that,
up, make
Let me
sure there's
take
not a
this.
second header.
Filter off of there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead and start on line 2, please, and click a checkbox and remove quotes. Hit the template detail, please. Okay. Now we just pull that down a hair so we can see the column headings in one. Here's a
we need
little
to
trick.
change it
Let's
to
go to
the-
file. Thank you. She says, I know how to do that. Don't bug me. Okay.
Language,
Formulas.
formulas.
R1C1 changes letters to numbers because when we map, I can't go A, B, C, D. I gotta go service site is in record column. This is our concatenate 3. So the service site's in 3. The owner is the customer who's sitting in 1 because that's the one we concatenated the number. Customer group, leave that blank.
Oh.
The owner is in
This is-
1. The description is that
Site
site name in 5.
Address
Address 1 is
is
6. City is in 9.
Oops. 9, 10,
10. And zip is in 11.
11.
Country's optional, down arrow. Additional address was sitting in 7. Phone, we didn't really have phone on that, did we?
It might be further over.
Let's go take a peek.
So you have a,
Can we format that phone and is, what are my difference in phones here? I see a site phone and I see
They just, there's a place in
Site one and
Maxwell
a
you
site
can choose
two.
more than one phone number.
um,
Zero, 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 zero.
Can you format that cell? There's a little thing where I can go in, and I think one of my choices,
oh,
if you go to special, let's go phone. Oh,
I think we had that
We
issue.
did, same
With
thing.
Kareem.
It was that same
Yeah.
issue.
um, what did we do to
Is
that?
that the official terminology, Dawn?
What did we do?
Because I think even when we attempted to copy and paste and use a different formula,
I
and the whole
remember
thing,
that.
I mean,
And I
it
did
just
string
never.
manipulation by count, so I did a string count of how many characters, and if it had so many characters, I
Then you
did
put a
3
hyphen.
delineated, 3 delineated, and then 4.
So it was
Yeah.
more of the custom.
Yeah, no joke, right?
Keep guarding.
Oh,
This is an exercise, 'cause we're gonna redo it again when we get all of the right records,
I
right?
don't know,
Well,
this
pen
is
and
all coming
data,
over to the live
I don't
company.
believe we'll.
We'll have a chance to
We're
scrub
just
a
gonna have
little
to go
bit.
do 2016 and do that and add it again.
You just depend. It's additive.
That's what I was trying to tell you, we're
This one
pending to
here?
the end. If
I
there was
created a new one
anybody in
up top.
16,
That I think
that
if you
didn't come in
go
from the 17 list.
XXX dash XX X
It'll just
dash
depend to the end.
XXX,
Yeah, we
it will do a custom one like that.
As I
Does
said,
that
I
make sense?
can't believe that there's probably.
So, you want me
Just
to-
sweep through the whole thing.
16?
Uh,
That's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, everybody
And make a
who
new
worked in 16
So you said.
more likely had 17 activities. There's probably a short list that didn't have 17 activity that
Oh, so
maybe
you're
had
gonna go run
16.
16 and merge it and see if it was there.
Yeah.
Nice to-
Yeah,
what's
put
that?
in a formula that said
That's
if they had a
going
value here, but
to-
they didn't have a value here, and it's
I
probably
still
short.
don't think that it liked any of that stuff that we
Which
tried.
I'm a little
Oh.
surprised because I know Kayla went and got that
I
all.
think it'll be more
dialed
than
in.
anything.
You want me to do more cleanup?
You want to import and then let's see if we have to re-import. to see
Well, I
what
mean, we're
does.
gonna have to potentially re-import anyways.
Yeah, I mean, and I could
Okay.
re-import just that column too.
Now, I only, so go back to Vista, I only have one thing called phone. Do we need to have a second phone and call one, like, phone 1, phone 2? Because we only have one field for phone right now. I can create a UD field for a second phone, but I gotta call it something, so.
Yeah, phone 1, phone 2 as well.
Whatever that thing is.
So default service center is gonna be,
Put 0,
It's gonna be
3 over
303
there.
here.
That's kind of hard coding it on there. Okay. So phone, let's deselect the checkbox. Phone 1 is gonna be 18, is that the first one?
but it's not gonna, it won't import like that, will it?
Well, we'll see if we can have this
Okay.
override. Okay, so let's try this, hit save. And then like I said, we're gonna do this again, so the UD, should we take time to do the UD field or should we just?
Do it afterward.
Okay, so this is mapped, so are we missing anything to the right? Is there any other critical information besides the second phone?
Just sort names, sort addresses,
Well, that suite number, isn't that part of the address? In some
That's.
cases?
Yeah, they're
that's
sort
the
of-
sort.
Oh,
We have
okay,
it over
okay,
the
okay,
left.
okay.
Yeah, we got it over in the left. Okay, and we've got the maximum customer number on the SM customer.
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
so let's go file, save as, and let's save this as a tab delimited text. Since I said I want to import a tab delimited text, I must save this. It cannot come directly from Excel. It has to be,
And close it.
yep, and then close and cancel. So let's import. SM is my temp file. Hit F4 in the template. I did the customer last type, and now we're doing the service sites. Starting on line 2, she's going to browse to her service site file, service sites to import, execute. Say yes, the template had a little something in it. So now it's going to read 1,910. Was that your count about there? So,
1,910. Yeah, that's right. No, I said almost 2,000. It was like 1,900.
So I said two.
close here for a second, squawking at me. Missing SM company service site. Cancel out here, please. Go to your template, please.
Is that the 201?
Yeah, go to the template detail.
So we gotta put 201 in here.
Put 201 right there and deselect that. We'll check, we'll just hard code.
It's 201.
That's our company.
It's our test company. Company 1 will be our live company. But we're going to copy the setup from 201 to 1 in a few months after we've vetted company 201.
So we're still in our sandbox, John?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're always gonna have a live in a training or whatever database, right? Something. Yeah, so any changes we make or things we can test and data. and everything.
Floats out of here. What's it squawking at me now for? Oh, sorry, cancel up here. I need to type. These are all customer types. So remember I said you could have a job type or a customer type? These are all customer types. Remember the work orders? There's two kind of main kinds. Scroll down a little bit. Look at type. Right there, put in customer.
Customer?
Yep, customer.
Yes, to type.
Okay, and save. Okay,
Do I need to click this?
no, just hit save. We're gonna hard code. These are all customer service
And I had
sites.
something going there, and I just.
I need to import one more time, please. Browse. She's like, okay, done. Third time's a charm. Execute. So, one thing about importing, this is going through all these checks to make sure everything's 100%, and it squawks if it doesn't like something.
Not either, huh?
The bottom one, everything went in but 1897.
Invalid.
Is that Manitoba? MB?
MB.
Cancel out here. So everything went in except for record 1,897. Cancel out of here, go into the work edit. It orphaned it here in the work edit.
See, there's nothing there.
1897, so, I mean, this is record sequence
Oh.
1.
That's the only one in there.
Click over here to the right.
Hit the end. We gotta come back to, it was 18, so record sequence 18.
So that's 1910, 1897.
I just typed in 1890. Oh, there you go. Oops, back up.
Whoa, whoa,
Eight-
whoa.
eight- oh, nine, never
She
mind.
is out of control.
Oh,
Wow.
Whoa.
Freeze. Wow.
1894.
It's in CA. It's in Canada, not US. It doesn't like that.
I was wondering what the heck
Okay.
that zip code was.
Yeah, the goofy Canadians.
I'm lost.
Save, all right. Okay.
This is all the detail of the
Oh,
import.
I see, by record.
Am I done? I mean, can I close this?
Yeah, let's go ahead and close. Now hit upload.
It's probably just the billing customer or something. Okay, I've never done any Canadian exchange,
Because
so.
their service sites contain some of the billed customer addresses too, so.
That's correct.
Yeah, they're linked to that.
Oh, there was New York, there's Michigan, there's all kinds of addresses that I was going through.
Yeah.
Then there was some, I tried to correct the misspelling, it was like Federal Way was like.
The deer on.
But yeah, it was something weird and some commas and some not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah, when
imagine the
they
next
trying to
thing
do as
we're
much
gonna
Try to do
do-
W-2s, I always have to
Right.
correct those.
I started at AR, I went to the SM customers. Now, close out of here, I'm gonna show you the SM service sites. So close out of there, she can refresh at the bottom, so whenever you have your service
I
sites,
think
you're like,
they should
well, yeah, where'd my service sites go? She had to refresh. So now, off of that spreadsheet, go ahead and maximize this, so now, I got all these. It didn't like that I didn't put customer, because the other type is a job service site, and we'll set those up to test when we're working for our sister company. But now all that stuff, to go to the info tab, all this stuff is in there for all, maximize that for the second one you get for our account. I got 1,912 service sites sitting in there now, and it's got all that information we put in.